Hello you and welcome back to Scandinavian Design 101. I'm Sanna.
I'm Andreas and we are two Swedes and we love design. And today we're going to talk about Swedish ceramics. And more specifically, the ceramicist Wilhelm Kåge, best known for his rustic stoneware vases made for Gustavsberg. You may have seen them sold for quite a lot of money at the auction and by high-end dealers. But Kåge was so much more than just decorative stoneware objects, so let's explore his life.
Let's. Wilhelm Kåge, originally named Algot Wilhelm Nilsson. That's a very boring name.
Yeah.
Son names are very, very common
in
Sweden.
50% of all Swedes has a son name.
Is that enough? I think it's
perhaps
more.
Even more. Yeah, it means son, of course.
Of course it means son, so it's logical.
Son of Nils. Yeah.
Son of Nils, yes. That was not good enough, so
No.
we changed it.
Yeah.
Well, he was born in 1889 in the Swedish capital of Stockholm as the youngest of 7 siblings. His father, a wealthy merchant, ensured that the family never faced financial hardships. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
The decision to change their surname to Kåge was inspired by Wilhelm's older brother Ivar, who aspired to be an actor.
Yeah.
And since there was already a famous actor in Sweden named Ivar Nilsson, he chose to name himself Kåge, inspired by the mother's birthplace, Kågeröd.
Yeah, it's down in south of Sweden.
Yeah. In 1902, when their parents divorced, the rest of the siblings followed and changed their names as well. The young Wilhelm Nilsson became Wilhelm Kåge.
Yeah.
Kåge wasn't good in school, except for his exceptional talent in drawing, of course. These artistic skills paved the way for his first job, painting signs for a local butcher.
Yeah.
As compensation, he received dog food for his beloved companion, Lady.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. While it was a modest beginning, it marked the start of a long and captivating career.
Yeah. And he soon enrolled at the technical school in Stockholm, but dropped out in less than a year, growing tired of theoretical studies. And instead, he pursued studies in art, initially in Gothenburg and later in Copenhagen too. And a friend as well as a source of inspiration during this time was the well-known Swedish modernist artist Gösta Adrian Nilsson, Gan, famous in Sweden at least.
Very
yeah.
famous.
And it wasn't long before he decided to focus on graphics and advertising. And his connections in the Swedish entertainment industry, particularly through his acting brother, of course, provided him with numerous opportunities to create posters and other graphic materials.
Yeah.
However, today he isn't primarily associated with graphic design, of course. The reason he ventured into ceramics was rather coincidental. The Swedish Society of Crafts and Design often helped artists in need of work connect with suitable employers. And on behalf of the young Kåge, the society wrote the following words to the ceramic manufacturer Gustavsberg. We recommend Wilhelm, the brother of actor Ivar Kåge, the talented young man known for his excellent poster designs. And it's interesting, they mention his brother here. So, you should really hire him because his brother is a famous actor.
Brother.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the company found this recommendation intriguing and decided to hire Wilhelm in 1917, marking the beginning of a long and highly successful collaboration, of course.
Nowadays, Wilhelm Kåge is strongly associated with Gustavsberg, a renowned porcelain manufacturer once located in the community of Gustavsberg, situated on the island of Värmdö in the Stockholm archipelago. The company was founded back in the 1820s, and by the time Kåge was hired, the factory had undergone significant modernization, of course. Instead of solely producing traditional products, they began hiring artists to design modern items. The role was ideal for the young Kåge, who went on to create a large number of highly acclaimed porcelain tableware sets in the coming decade. We will soon show some of his most successful designs. Kåge was promoted to the position of artistic director, a role he held until 1949 when he was replaced by Stig Lindberg.
Yeah. And the establishment of Gustavsberg Studio, an art department, was initiated by Kåge in 1942. Collaborating with Stig Lindberg and the skilled turner Bernt Friberg, Kåge crafted artful and exclusive objects, enjoying a level of artistic freedom that was otherwise unattainable within the factory. And Kåge described it as an aesthetic laboratory. Economically, the studio posed a burden for the company, but it persisted until the 1980s, with a long list of artists visiting the workshop over the years. For example, Lisa Larsson, also
very famous.
Yeah. And the pieces created within the studio bore a distinctive hallmark known as the studio hand, and were often accompanied by the artist's signature. And nowadays, Kåge's creations from the studio are highly sought after in the second-hand market. And let's take a look at some outstanding examples recently sold at auction.
Before diving further into his works for Gustavsberg, let's share a few more details about his personal life. Kåge had 3 significant long-term relationships. His first wife was an actress and dancer called Jenny Hasselqvist, whom he married in 1918. That's very
Long time ago.
young.
Yeah.
The marriage was short-lived, and soon after he met Lilian Rössel, another accomplished actress, maybe through his brother, who knows?
Yeah, possibly.
The second marriage endured much longer. The couple purchased a large house on Södermalm in central Stockholm, which became a hub for the cultural elite of the city.
Yeah.
Although they never had children, their marriage continued until 1940, when Kåge met Gabriella Kestler, an Austrian woman, 20 years his junior, with whom he eventually had 2 children.
Yeah.
The family was often featured in the press, surrounded by friends, hosting gatherings and parties. In the late 50s, Kåge fell ill with cancer, likely caused by the hazardous environment at the factory, combined with the lifelong habit of chain smoking.
That's sad.
He passed away in 1960, but his home remained intact until 1990, when it was sold at auction.
Yeah. And it's sad that most of these artists in the ceramic business, they actually died from cancer.
Yeah.
Stig Lindberg too, and that was also partly because of the
I'm thinking
environment.
lung cancer then.
Yeah, it was lung cancer, but he inhaled a lot of dust. Yeah, so, but he was also smoking, so it's hard to.
You
so,
just said.
Yes, it's hard to tell if it's because of the job or smoking,
Yeah.
but it's probably both. And now let's talk about the objects designed by Kåge during his time at Gustavsberg. And he created approximately 30 distinctive tableware sets and around 200 different patterns. And traditionally, when Gustavsberg sought to introduce new models, employees were dispatched to Central Europe with the aim of buying suitable patterns from international competitors. But Kåge aimed to put an end to this practice and promptly began designing models tailored for the local market upon his arrival to the factory. His first successful model was Arbetarsavisen, the workers' service, which he initially exhibited in 1917. Kåge intended it to be an affordable tableware set for the masses, but unfortunately it proved to be costly and too unassuming to attract customers. And despite these initial setbacks, Kåge continued designing tableware throughout the 1920s, and gradually customers began to take notice. One of his most famous creations today is probably the flame-proof Pyro, a functionalist tableware set first showcased at the 1930 Stockholm exhibition. And it quickly became a bestseller, comprising of over 200 different pieces and the decor was available in brown, most common, but also in green and blue.
200 pieces?
Yeah, extremely many different pieces,
wow.
Like pots and plates.
I get it.
Yeah,
you don't have to describe it.
No.
But 200 is too many.
Yeah, too many. Yeah. Probably way too many, I guess. Yeah. But now let's explore some of the other models designed by Kåge during this period.
Pyro is very boring.
It's really boring.
And in the brown it's yucky.
Yeah, it is.
Despite creating hundreds of patterns and models, it's undoubtedly the decorative pieces that gave Kåge a place in the Swedish design history. As early as the 1920s, he began experimenting with a green copper glaze adorned with a hand-painted golden decorations. This experimentation led to the renowned Argenta series, which made its debut at the Stockholm exhibition in 1930. Instead of using gold, Kåge ornamented these decorative pieces with hand-painted silver motifs. The early Argenta pieces, carefully decorated by Kåge himself, were of exceptional quality. However, as the demand for Argenta grew, factory employees were entrusted with the time-consuming task of decorating these pieces. Argenta quickly became one of Gustavsberg's most beloved products, exported worldwide and produced in substantial quantities for decades. The last pieces were manufactured as late as the 1970s, but by that time the design was considered outdated.
Yeah, and some pieces are nice, but most of them are quite boring.
I think they're pretty.
Yeah. But perhaps not the ashtrays and.
I love an ashtray.
You love an ashtray, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, but I love an ashtray.
Yeah. When discussing Wilhelm Kåge, it's impossible not to mention the Farstaware and the rustic pieces crafted from this unique type of stoneware. Using a distinct blend of clay, Kåge achieved the combination of beautiful bowls and vases, often covered with a generous layer of vibrant glaze. And it was a common practice to leave parts of the objects unglazed to establish a contrast and an intriguing blend of textures. The initial Fasta pieces made their debut at the Stockholm exhibition also, in 1930, and swiftly became the flagship offerings for Gustavsberg. And in contrast to most other products, Kåge insisted on having complete control over every aspect, including the shape, of course, but also firing process and the glaze. And today, these exclusive pieces are highly sought after collectibles, and they are the most expensive pieces by Kåge.
Yeah.
And this was all for today.
Yes.
And we will end this video with some of Kåge's most iconic pieces.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.